What's up, peeps? It's Monday morning, so that means we've got a weekend of sales and yesterday's big pickup to have a run through this morning. Going to take a look at some of the sales, well, probably all of the sales to be honest, because there weren't that many, although they weren't too bad, and some of the kind of individual items that I picked up yesterday, and share some of the big stacks of stuff that I got as well. So I hope that works for you. Let's crack on. We'll look at a couple of sales first, if that's okay with you. First up, we have an author that I said the other day I wasn't much buying anymore, but I've started picking them up again because they've started selling again. We have Linwood Barclay, Bad Luck, Take Your Breath Away, both in paperback, and then hardcover Far From True, and the three of those sold for £10.78. Next, another bundle, but a bit of a mixed bundle. Some classics and new literature. We've got The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce the name, but Remains of the Day and that one. We've written a few and they're good. We've got an absolute belter of a book, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. Fantastic. Franz Kafka, The Castle, and Homer's The Odyssey. So all of them paperbacks, all of them good conditions. Classic books. I pick them up because they always sell, and that lot sold for £18.69. So a nice wee bundle with a nice bit of value to it. Next, we'll do another one and we'll look at some pickups. We've got a bundle of educational books. So these are all maths, Scottish Higher, past paper, practice papers. We've got that one. We've got that one. We've got that one. That one. And that one. So 5 of those, all past papers, so great for revising and studying. £12.74 for them. Heading off to Dumfries and Galloway. Right. Some of the pickups. So I got some really good books for my bundles. For example, a nice big stack of Captain Underpants books, most of them in pretty good condition. They sell really well when I've got a bundle of them ready to go, so I'll be getting them listed pretty quickly. We've got quite a few other bread and butter type bits and pieces, like a nice wee stack of Katie Ford to add to that listing, and pretty big stack of Dorothy Koomson. Not the fastest seller, but again, I tend to find when I've got a good bundle of them, they do sell well, but I've got to have enough of a selection to make that worthwhile. So that's some of the kind of stuff that I picked up in the bundles piece. But I also went for all the kind of individual curious books. So I've actually still got probably about 50 to go through where I've not checked the prices on me, a lot of vintage paperbacks, but the ones that I have looked through, everything here is between £10 and £20 it seems to have a sale value for. My total price for the books yesterday was £90, so if I can make that back with my select books, then all the stuff that was into the bundles and the bread and butter stuff, that's the profit. Anyway, we've got The Legend of the Seventh Virgin, an old hardcover first edition which seems to sell for about £10. We've got paperback of The First Night, so movie adaptation. I find these go quite well. Again, kind of £8 to £10 seems to be about the right price for that. None of that particular edition listed at the moment, but I'm quite hopeful it'll sell well. Tales of Ayrshire, bit of a local book. Really good condition. I think this is from 1980s, what is it? 1983. So it's not the oldest book in the world, but it's a nice book, and it seems to sell for £10 to £12 on average. A curiosity, a cloth ordnance survey Loch Doon from 1945. So because it's a cloth map rather than the paper ones, it's still, I don't know how well you can see that really, but it's still in really good condition. Again, you can get round about £10 for these types of maps, especially if they are popular touristy type areas, so Loch Doon isn't too bad from that point of view. That'll go for about a tenner. The Science of Success, so Charles G. Koch. I think I've had a couple of books that he's written. I don't know if I've that particular one, but again, typically goes for around about the £10 mark. A couple more that are worth a tenner that I've never heard of. That one, I like the look of it. Its price in the back is only £2.50, so I picked it up. Winner of the 1981 Nobel Prize for Literature, Otto da Fe by Elias Canetti, about a tenner. What have we got? Wole Soyinka, Chronicles from the Land of the Happiest People on Earth. So again, I just saw it and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Let's pick it up. It appears to be literature rather than a thriller, but in really good condition. And was it a firstie? No, it's not a first edition, but nice condition book, and that seems to say £10 to £12 again. I've looked at a couple more of these. The Story of Peter Pan, really nice condition. One wee tear on the dust jacket in the top corner there, but otherwise really clean on the inside. And it's from, when was this one published? 1982. So again, not quite, I don't class it as antiquarian, but definitely a nice vintage copy. Again, £10 to £15 that seems to sell for. These prices are estimates. They might end up going for a wee bit lower than that. They might go for a wee bit more, but we'll wait and see. Complete Beatles lyrics, about a tenner. Rather surprisingly, South Park annual. You know, good nick. I doubt this has ever actually been read. £8 to £10. A little David Copperfield's Boyhood. So it's a supplementary reading, is how it's described. But it's a tiny wee paperback, and it was published in 1903. So it's obviously not any kind of first edition, because it came out a little bit before that, although not much. But if it seems to go anywhere from like £10 to £35 that could be worth. So I've not listed it yet. I need to do a wee bit more research and see just what we can get for it. But those types of wee pamphlet books, I always pick them up because some of them are worth an absolute fortune. That one isn't bad. Another curiosity, now I'm not even sure if I'll list this because it is in pretty bad nick, but Cliff Richard, It's Great to Be Young, the teenage years, so a first edition of that. The dust jacket is pretty knackered. The book's got a wee bit of a bend in it, but it is a second impression from 1960, and it looks like that might sell for about a tenner, but I need to go and compare condition a bit more with books that have sold and see if it's worth selling it. I mean, dust jackets, you get them ripped up, but there's a wee bit of a buckle in the book, so I'll need to decide what to do with that one. I got a bundle of Meg and Mogg books, so there's 10 here. I think the full set is like 20, but we've got 10 of them, and they're all different titles. I can get about 15 quid for that bundle, I think, so I've included that in these ones here, because I don't have a Meg and Mogg bundle as such, but it is there. Last couple to look at here, and then we'll get back into the sales. Haynes, Novelty Haynes books. I've sold quite a few of these lately. I think Chieftain Tank went for about 15 quid recently. Sherman Tank seems to sell for about a tenner, so that's another one that will be going out the door, hopefully quite quickly. And then finally, a really nice illustrated edition of The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. So a really nice book. It's got an RRP of 25 quid, so it's quite new. Where are we? 1997? Sure I saw that. Oh no, 2000. The year 2000. So it's still more than 20 years old. Really nice condition, but it's modern enough. Looking kind of £10 to £15 for that one seems to be the typical. So it's a nice wee stack of bits and bobs, that lot, to pay for the entire bundle, that pickup that I made. and hopefully we'll get some half decent money out of them. Anyway, let's look at some more sales. Whilst we drink coffee. Right, next we have a bundle of The Last Kids on Earths. So 4 paperbacks, all in good condition. You know, good to very good condition, to be honest. These were bundled up. I didn't put them up as separate listings and let people bundle them. I just put them up as a bundle of 4 because I only had the 4, and they sold for £10.99. So not bad for 4 books. And next we have a slightly mixed bundle. Kathy Rees, however you want to see it, and Anne Frank's diary as well. So The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. So 4 Kathy Rees paperbacks, the Anne Frank paperback, and they sold for £13.04. Again, keeping up that £10 and over for a bundle of books that I do so like. A much smaller bundle next. 2 Harlan Coben's, Don't Let Go and The Woods, and they sold for £8.76. I'm running low on my Harlan Coben's. I really need to get some more of them sometime soon. So you've got a big stack of them, they sell really, really well. A DVD, a single DVD. This is in my musicals listing, and somebody's bought it just by itself. So £5.99 for a wee Robbie Williams Live at the Albert Hall DVD. Had that for I don't know how long, but it just sits, as you can see, it doesn't take up much room, so that'll cost me 10p to buy. Sell it for £5.99, a couple of quid in postage, a couple of quid in fees, making £1 or so, which is good for a 10p investment. Right, another bundle. And going out the door. 2 Stephen King and a John Grisham. So we've got Green Mile paperback, really nice condition. Christine paperback, so it's the 1984. And The Firm, a copy of The Firm. And the 3 of those sold for £11.93. You go down there, waiting for the next bit. You have another drink of coffee. Very dry mouth today. All gone. Right. One more sale and then I'll show you some more of my pickups. A single book on its own, Pat Barker, Silence of the Girls. Again, I don't know how long I've had this one. I don't think I've had this particular book for too long, but as ever, it looks nice. It's in nice condition. Pat Barker, top author, and that sold for £6.84. Right. Other pickups. What other bundles did I get? I got a big pile of Julia Donaldson. So Julia Donaldson selling really, really well at the moment. So I'm going to keep picking them up and keep just churning them out. Excuse me, trying not to sneeze. Also, the place that I go on a Sunday, usually they do CDs and DVDs 3 for £1, which is the same as their books, but that's too expensive for me. You know, I want to get 10 for £1. I want them to be 10 pence each, because then I can really stack them up, and if they sit for ages, it just takes one of a bundle of 10 to sell within a month, and it makes it worthwhile. So they've changed their pricing, and they're now doing 10 for £1. So that's the price I'm looking at. And when I'm getting to dig through the books, they've also got stacks and stacks and stacks of DVDs. Now, I didn't look through all of them because I just didn't have time yesterday, but I did pick up about 70 and ended up paying like £5 for 70. So because I grabbed loads, they gave me another couple of quid off. I don't ask for these things, but if they offer, I take it. So we got some musicals for the musical listing. So I expect these are ones that have all gone pretty fast before. Oklahoma, Fame, Annie Get Your Gun, Little Shop of Horrors, My Fair Lady, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then we got, we're not going to bring them over because there's too many, big stack of about 15, 20 Disney DVDs. So again, the Disney, when there's a big selection, they just keep going out and out and out. not every day, but they do sell. And then a big stack of movies for my kind of classics collection. So everything from Top Gun to the Terminator, Apocalypse Now, The Goonies, the original Superman movie. There's just a big stack in there. So I'll get all of them listed up over the next few days as well, added into my current listings, which are maybe getting a bit big. I maybe need to put up a second listing for some of the DVDs. But £5 for 70 DVDs. If I sell 3 or 4 of those, I've more than covered all my costs on that, and the rest will all be profit. So the DVDs, they don't sell well, you don't make a lot of money on them, but if you can get a process going where you can just get them in and get them out, they're absolutely fantastic. Within the DVDs, there were also a few that are worth a wee bit more. So I got, wait a minute, it's over here somewhere, one of them, yeah, a couple of Metallica, which can go for £5 to £10 each. I think that one's listed for about £8, not listed that one yet. So that, them on their own make quite a difference to the whole thing. And then a really nice special edition of Big Trouble in Little China. So it's just the normal special edition DVD and inside, but I haven't seen any listed in the sleeve. So I think I can maybe get about £8 for that. Maybe only a fiver, but still it's a wee bit more than usual, just to cover the cost of the entire DVD pickup. I did get one other that's actually sold already, but I'll show you that when we get to it, going through the orders. Right, some more orders. We've got 2 George Martin books. So it's the A Dance with Dragons, Bubbly. So the 2 from that series there, and they sold for £9.84 for the 2 of them. And a couple of singles. We've got True Grit, Charles Portis, so the old John Wayne movie, and then the Coen Brothers did one more recently, well, it's still probably about 10 years ago or something. Sold for £5.94. And then Ali Smith, there but for the, no idea what it's about, but Ali Smith seems very popular, so when I see them I pick them up. I've sold 1 or 2 in the past, but this one sold for £6.84. So not big money sales, but they're sales nonetheless. Next, got a big stack of 6 Clive Cussler hardcover books. I was surprised at this sale. eBay seemed to have done something different now, in that they're letting international buyers bundle up. I've had a lot of problems. People try to buy stuff internationally, and then eBay are trying to charge them postage, their high level postage on each individual single item, and you're unable to bulk them together, however you want to say it. In this case, international sale, but they've had absolutely no problem putting them together like that. So the 6 of them went for $32.99. So that's quite a nice wee sale. Yeah. Right. Some more of the pickups. Another wee stack here. Now these ones I think I've already listed, and again 10, 15, 20, £30 for a couple of them actually, but we'll show you what they are. We've got Bob Dylan's Writings and Drawings. It's got a wee bit of a water damage on the front, but the book itself is in good condition. UK £1.50, so it is an oldie. What's the year on it? 1973. So yeah, 1973 book, and it really is just all these lyrics to everything he's written. I've got that one listed for, I think, about a tenner. Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm, an old Collins classic, really good condition. This is from 1968, so this edition was published in 1954 originally, so it's 14 years after the reprint, but it's in really nice condition, and it seems to go for about £10 to £12. To Catch a Spy, so just various stories and tales from spy writers, everything from Ian Fleming, Graham Greene, Compton Mackenzie, Somerset Maugham. It's got a bit of dust on the top, which I'm actually going to clean up before I ship it, but that one's listed for, I think 12 quid, maybe thereabouts. Ray Bradbury, a really nice condition vintage paperback there from the 70s, so it's the movie tie-in edition from way back when, and that looks like it can go for about 15 quid. We've got J.B. Priestley's Delight. So it's a first edition, but not a first edition. It's a first edition of this edition, which was the Readers' Union. So, you know, a book club style book. That goes for about a tenner. Butterfield 8. Nice John O'Hara paperback. In pretty good nick. Again, I've swithered about trying to clean the spine. I think that might clean up quite nicely, but I haven't cleaned it yet. I've got magic sponges. You've got to be careful and you've got to test it in bits, but if it's a glossy finish in the book, the magic thingamajig can take off some of the grime and the dust. I'll maybe try that shortly and show you, but again, that seems to go for about 10 to 15 pounds. I Ching, Book of Change, 15 to 20 quid. So with a foreword by Carl Jung, it's the Richard Wilhelm translation. Seems to sell quite often as well, so I'm hoping that will move quite quickly. Then we've got Before the Shining Path, which did clean up really nicely with the magic sponge, because it's a nice glossy cover, and it's not an old book, this one. Again, it's relatively new. It's in really good condition, but it seems to have held its value very, very well. So 2010 this was published, but it looks like it can sell 25, 30 quid, so that's quite nice. Quite nice. The only signed book I found, usually I find a few, but I only found one, and I didn't know it was a signed edition. I don't really know. I want to do some research to see who this guy is. Jai G. Showers, author and host of Welcome In. So I'm not sure if this is the guy that actually founded the Welcome In, you know, that chain. But when I opened it up, I thought, oh, that's a shame, somebody scribbled all over it. Let me see it in there. And then I had a closer look and thought, oh, J.G. Showers, that appears to be at the end of it. So I thought, I couldn't really make out what it said. I thought maybe somebody's just written it, so, you know, here's a book for you, Merry Christmas, it's the new book by that guy you like. But I went and checked it, and it is actually his signature, and it appears to be his handwriting, so we got a signed edition. I've slipped that up for about 25 quid, I think 25 quid, and it also came with a menu from one of his establishments. So the Scandinavia Mine Host, J.G. Showers, and it's got a late supper license, so that's in really good nick and all listed up, and hopefully it will sell quite well, but my only signed pickup of the day. Now, I thought this was a book because it was in the book box, so I just grabbed it. I thought, oh, a wee book in yellow, let's just grab that, that might be interesting. And it was only when I got it back I realised it's actually a 3 CD box set, flashback, and that seems to go for anywhere from 20 to 30 quid itself, so that was a pleasant surprise, unexpected. Madensky Square by Eva Ibbotson, 10 to 15 pounds, really nice condition, 1980s, so not ancient. And then John Gray, so John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, a few others including Love and Coaching, not the most common or available of his books. It's a pretty new edition, but it seems to sell for about a tenner. When was this published? 2022, so this is a new book, and it sells for a good price, and it's an as new nick, which is always fantastic to see. So that was all the kind of individual books that I picked up. Let's see, I've got another stack of vintage paperbacks that I need to go through and see if there's anything doing with them, but let's look at the last few sales, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to try cleaning that Butterfield 8 paperback to take off some of the grime. Let's see if it works, maybe think about it. Right, next is another bundle, which is Simon Kernick. So another author which don't sell any for ages, and then over a couple of days I'll sell 3 or 4 bundles, so I'm hoping that's the case this time around because I haven't sold them in ages. But thriller writers, they always sell 4 paperbacks and a nice big hardcover, and they went for £13.54. Last book, just got this last week, Graham Masterton, The House at Phantom Park. Nice wee spooky horror book, good condition, always like them to be in good condition. Not a first edition, just a nice hardcover horror book, and it sold for £8.24. So that's all the books, but there's one more sale, which is one of the DVDs that I picked up. I just need to refresh this page to see how much it sold for. Crumb. Yeah, so I thought, oh, that looks a bit different, so I grabbed it. So Crumb. David Lynch presents a film by Terry Zwigoff. And who was Crumb? Felix the Cat, the guy that created Felix the Cat, that cartoon series, and a few others as well. Keep on Trucking, never heard of that one. I've heard of Felix the Cat, but yeah, definitely a film about a weirdo made by weirdos. It was always going to be popular, and that sold for a tenner, which just about covers, you know, sold for a tenner, but a couple of quid to post it, a couple of quid in fees, so that has covered the entire cost of all the DVDs, you know, all 70 DVDs that I picked up, done and dusted with that one sale, which is fantastic. Right, so total sales value for that lot, £230. So as usual, say a third to eBay, a third to the post office, and about a third in profit. So round about £70 profit there, which for the day, I spent 95 quid in total yesterday on the buy, so I'm only £25 short from the weekend sales to cover all the pickups from over the weekend as well, which will be covered today, hopefully. Right, when I have my pickup budget, I don't like spending more than a day's worth of profit usually, but I'll pick the best day of the week and base it on that. And when there's a lot of good books to pick up, I'm going to get them. The 350, between 350 and 400 books picked up in total, so I'll be listing them over the course of a week, and I've still got some from last week that I haven't listed yet either, so I've got a nice wee bit of a backlog that I can just keep working through and keep them moving and moving and moving. I'm going to go and get a magic sponge and see if I can clean that book for you. Nah, it is lifting off some of the surface grime, so just a very, very, very slightly damp one of these. See if it works on. Can you see that patch there? And we'll just give it a very gentle rub and see what happens. It's coming up a wee bit. So you just got to be very careful you're not getting it wet or taking it too far. So I'm hoping you can see the difference that makes. It's taken off the kind of the excessive spot that was there. The orange colouring has brightened up a wee bit, but I don't think where it should be white, it's just aging light discoloured, so it's not really cleaning up the white bits anymore. And the same with the spine, it's not taking much off on the spine. I mean, it is lifting dirt, but I think I would have to get it too wet to actually clean it, and it would end up damaging the book. So you can see it's getting a bit damp there because there's breaks in the spine. Moisture's going to get into that, affect the binding and do all sorts, so I'm not going to do anything daft that might damage the book, but you can see from that bit there that it does make a wee bit of a difference. You can tidy your books up a little bit if it's a more modern book. I've got one I can show you on. I've got a book that's a little bit dirty. I'm not seeing any because I make such a point of only picking up stuff that's in good condition. I don't often have many that need any kind of cleaning. Let's see, the only one that did was already cleaned. Let's
I've got anything else down here. Bear with me. One moment, people. One moment. Nope.
Right, we've got the Eric Ambler edited Catch a Spy. So you can see it's definitely a bit dull on the back. So let's see if I can get this to make a difference on one part so you can see the contrast. It's definitely cleaning it, but whether or not you'll be able to see the difference. So I've cleaned off the bottom part up to there, and it's quite obvious not on camera, but that's nice and clean, and then it begins to get a bit grotty again up the sides. So if we take the sponge on there, that grottiness has gone, and see a couple of marks hopefully up at the top. So again, hit it with a sponge, and let's see, this is a nice glossy finish on this cover. And again, those marks have gone. Let's just finish off the back of this cover. Again, very slightly damp sponge and nothing more, so hopefully you can see that. That's actually a break in the cover, so it's not a stain, that's just the card showing through. The rest of it, same at the bottom corner, the rest of it is actually cleaned up quite nicely. It's a bit spotted and manky along the top there. Let's see if it happens. Oh yes, well, this one's cleaning up nicely. Yeah, so hopefully you can see along the top that is much cleaner, and I'll probably just finish this cover off now that I've started it. Take off all the little spots, and yeah, that's looking much nicer now. And you can do the same on the spine and everywhere else, but just be careful. If you've got something that's worth a lot of money and you are not a book restorer, then it's probably best not to mess with them. Sell them as is and let somebody else restore them if they see fit to do so. Anyway, that's how you clean a glossy cover on a book. That's how I do it anyway. And then just make sure that it's dry before you go stacking it into a shelf and it starts rotting or getting everything else that's round about it soggy as well. Anyway, that is all for today. As ever, thanks everyone for your support. Sales have been good. The YouTube channel seems to be going absolutely great, so thank you all for continuing to watch, and anybody who's never seen it before, thanks for watching, especially if you got this far. Half an hour of me talking about books. You're brave, well done. Yeah, so that's all for today. Probably see you tomorrow. Love you, see you. Bye.